Not all at once, guys.
Coach, just seeing your guys on the field for the first time this year, what were your biggest two or three takeaways from Virginia?
Yeah, I thought number one, the guys were excited to play, which obviously, we had a good camp, but it was obviously a long camp, we had kind of been building this thing for a while. So just the overall excitement. I thought the overall intensity that's required to play great defense was there. Okay? I thought the guys were really, intent on doing their job and straining. And then third, it was great to be able to get, multiple guys opportunities on the field. And, every rep is so valuable, and those reps that some of those younger guys got, we believe will pay great dividends for them later.
Coach, you guys as a staff probably knew what to expect from Aaron Beasley and Keenan Peely, but the two young guys you guys played at linebacker, Elijah and Arion, what did you think of their first action of the season?
Yeah, I thought it was good. Like I said, number one, just getting, good, healthy reps, for AC. His first collegiate, game opportunity, just like any freshman, there's some things that, we know he'll continue to grow in and get better at. But just having an opportunity to see him fly around was great. And as far as Elijah goes, he's obviously played some football for us last year, but just to see his growth and his maturity on display, we're really pleased with, what they did Saturday.
Yeah, Coach, I know it's just one game, one sample size. Your thoughts on your pass rush from your defensive line when you watched it on tape, and two, how would you rate the communication with your defense? Were you pretty sound? Did you have a bunch of busts? Kind of where was that stuff?
Yeah, so communication, I thought it was great. I thought the guys, for the most part, did a really good job communicating sets, backfield, down and distance, all the situational communication that's necessary. I thought those guys were great in that regard. But to sit here and say we didn't have any, busts, I've never coached a game that way, I'm hoping. But, yeah, it was some things that, obviously we need to do better, from a communication standpoint. But I thought overall it was great. As far as the pass rush goes, that's obviously been an area of emphasis for us since we've gotten here. We feel like we got some young guys that are quickly developing at a high rate, and obviously some guys that have been here who continue to grow in that role as well. So we're no means, a finished product, but we definitely like the start that we had, last Saturday.
How does the Tyler Barron that you see on the field this year differ from the Tyler Barron that you saw on the field last season?
Yeah, I think it's just, like I tell anyone, it's just being healthy. Tyler's healthy. He's always had the potential to be, one of the elite players in this conference. And, having a chance to keep him healthy is job number one for us and for him as well. And I think as long as he stays healthy and stays with the mindset and the intent that he has, we expect him to have a tremendous season for us moving forward.
Tim, what did you see from James off the edge? I know you just talked about that unit as a whole, but him specifically, and how confident are you that you're going to get that week to week from him?
Yeah, obviously we're very confident in James. His growth has been great for us. We saw it last year, him starting to make some strides, and he made some even better strides during the spring. So we're not surprised, with the display that he put on, this weekend. But just like I told him, I'll tell you the same. Nobody cares after the first game. You got to continue to put it on tape, week in and week out. And, it's not just him, but everybody on the defense. But we're excited about him. That's why we recruited him. He's a great kid who's only going to get better. And I think he'll be the first one to tell you that.
You spoke about Arion and Elijah a minute ago, but how big is this game for them to get home, play a home game, just get more reps against an opponent, in Austin Peay, and then two, like, what does each of those guys bring to the table in your mind?
Yeah, I think, every rep is valuable. Obviously, it was great playing in Nissan Stadium, but getting a chance to get back to Neyland is something that everybody's fired up for. Obviously, Austin Peay is coming in here that we have a great deal of respect for, people that are in our state, a lot of players in this state obviously is on that team. So we know we're going to have our hands full just to defend these guys and play at the level that we need to play at. As far as Arion and Elijah, what they bring to the table individually, I would say with AC, just his sheer athleticism. You guys know his story, obviously a running back in high school, and, it started trending as a linebacker, late in his career. So he's still learning, but just his overall athleticism, his ball awareness is things that it's hard to teach. So we think as he continues to get reps, he continues to develop, he has a chance to be a really good player in this league. As far as Elijah goes, he's a classic, Mike Backer. He's got great size for the position. He's extremely physical. As he continues to learn the position, we saw flashes of it, Saturday, just the growth in terms of knowing what to expect and being in the right places at the right time. But just his overall size that he brings to the position, particularly with some of the pressures that we run, we like to think that, we got a chance to win versus some of the backs that we'll see.
Coach Heupel mentioned that Keenan got one of your game balls. What specifically did you see from him that you guys really liked?
Yeah, just everything that he brought to practice, since he's been here. Just great leadership, communication, which was talked about earlier, just having the ability to command the defense, making sure the front is where it needs to be, communicating with Beasley, making sure everybody's where they need to be at all times was the number one thing. And just his overall physicality with the size that he has. So, you want big guys, but obviously in this day and age, they have to be able to function in space, and he's able to do those things for us. So, we were very pleased with what he brought, just his overall toughness and smart and communication skills. So, we're excited for him. We really are.
Obviously, Walker and McCullough started at safety, but when you went to your second group of safeties, what were the pluses and minuses you saw out of that group?
You want Wesley in those minuses? Because they all had a couple. So, we tried to play a bunch of guys. That's kind of been our mantra. We're going to play great defense here, and, we're going to recruit at a high level. And, the more guys that we can get out there to play, the better it is for our program moving forward. So, we had a chance to get, a couple more guys in. I think Dre got some reps, and I think we got Jordan Thomas some reps, and, we'll continue to move in that direction because, again, it's a long season. It's a tough conference. So the more we can get guys opportunities to play, the better it is for us. But, we love Wes, obviously. We love Tank and what those guys bring to the table, and even T-Mac. But at the end of the day, to ask those guys to play 100 snaps a game is not in our best interest. We recruited these guys for a reason. We're developing these guys for a reason, and as long as they continue to show it in practice, we're going to get those guys in the games.
Kind of following up in the secondary, you got Will Brooks on the field in the first half in that game. What does he bring to the table, and kind of where did he come from, and what have you liked out of him to put him in that position?
Yeah, Will's been very consistent for us since I've been here, quite honestly. He's played both safety positions. He's played the star position for us. He's just a guy we trust. We know exactly what we're going to get when we put him in the game. He's going to execute the call to the best of his ability. And that's really what we look for as coaches. Definitely want guys to be able to make plays, and we believe he can as well. But before you make a play, you got to make sure you're not giving up plays, and that's definitely what he brings. That's one of his strengths. So it was great to get him in there, and he did not disappoint. All right. Appreciate it.